Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at Spider-Man Reign 2 from Kaare Andrews, one of my favorite creators. Very, very interesting book. Cannot wait to share it with you. Subscribe to my channel, hit like, and let's get into it. All right, so Spider-Man Reign 2. Kind of crazy that this has a sequel. Even the editor, Nick Lowe, in the back states that he wasn't sure it was really, a sequel was really necessary, and it seemed kind of bizarre. It's like 2 decades ago, the first Spider-Man Reign came out. And even Kaare Andrews says in the back of the book that the first one was like one of the most notorious Spider-Man stories in Spider-Man history. And the reason being, mostly to nutshell it, for no pun intended, is that basically MJ was radiation poisoning from years of being subjected to Peter Parker's spider spooge. Ugh, like I can't even believe I got that out. But anyway, so that's kind of the gist of it. Anyway, so spoilers, whatever, let's get into it. So it's interesting because I cannot help but think of the parallels of Frank Miller's Dark Knight, because when the first Spider-Man Reign came out, I think it was largely felt, I felt it anyway, I don't know if it was implied, but it was basically Kaare Andrews trying to do with Batman what Frank Miller did with The Dark Knight. And I think that's a lofty proposition. That takes a lot of balls. And especially if you're going to throw in that weird story element, and then that's the legacy you're left with. So there you have it. Anyway, I mean, like I said, I've interviewed Kaare for my show. We even talked about the first Spider-Man Reign. I should put a link in the description. Amazing, like, filmmaker, penciler, writer, colorist, inker, like, so talented. Super nice Canadian, I should point out as well. So it's interesting because, speaking of the parallels, you know, when DK2 came out years after the first Dark Knight sequel, big question mark over whether it was necessary or not, and hugely controversial, went in a crazy direction with the art. The coloring was insane, very polarizing, very divisive, very like mixed bag. I love it. I've done videos covering it. But the point being is that I kind of feel like, you know, if Spider-Man Reign was Kaare Andrews' Dark Knight, then Spider-Man Reign 2 is Kaare Andrews' DK2, I feel. There's the introduction of this character. So I don't know, it's all weird and desolate. I have to say I'm not a fan of like dystopian things. Like, it's the future. Spider-Man's old as fuck. Mary Jane's dead. Like, there's no supporting cast except for like creepy ghosts that haunt Spider-Man. It's desolate. So, Kingpin is gonna be like the main villain protagonist. Body horror, grotesque, looks disgusting. This is definitely like, I think like when Bill Sienkiewicz, you know, did what he did with the Kingpin all those years ago in that Daredevil Frank Miller graphic novel, this is sort of like Kari's answer to that. It's sort of like, you know, a new level of grotesquerie with the Kingpin here. Perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, Kingpin is like causing problems. Spider-Man is like, why does Spider-Man just not give up? Now he's talking to like a hologram of MJ. Sometimes it feels a little pretentious and a little overwritten. I feel like sometimes that's the trapping of a writer artist. Sometimes I'm not sure, but there's like so many references to like so many different things. I feel like, you know, like when writers try to get like their little, I don't know, philosophies and stuff through in their writing. I feel like I'm rambling and not making sense, but then kind of appropriate for the tone of the book. Like, I love his art so much, but I think he gets a little crazy with these effects sometimes, and sometimes the coloring looks just so dark and muted. It's giving me like early 90s Image, just like way oversaturated and dark, and a lot of it, the art gets lost. So the DK2 parallel. So we have the introduction of this character who's coming to the rescue of old Spider-Man, kind of in the way that Robin now Catgirl, did with Bruce and DK2. So we don't know who she is, but she's Kitty Cat. I was gonna say, I'm kind of thinking like maybe Felicia Hardy's daughter, but I don't know. See what I mean? Like, this just looks like, on one hand, it's like truly amazing and like spectacular, but then on the other hand, like, there's so much going on and just like so many effects. It just looks a little, I don't know, muted or something. Right? I don't know. I just feel like you're going to spend all that time drawing all those buildings and stuff, and a lot of it gets lost in those kind of effects. The other interesting thing I thought, like, Spider-Man in Spider-Man Reign was, like, so decrepit. He was, like, Ian McKellen body. Like, and now, like, this is, like, after that, so arguably he's older. And he does have an old face and a really super crazy long beard. But his body looks, I don't know, like 20, 30 years old. 30 years old. We'll say 30. That was fun. Like, this thing going on with this whip. It does feel a little bit like a vanity project in a way. I know that sounds like, I hope you like, this isn't coming across as like a totally negative review, because it's really like good in so many ways. It's like high octane, something spectacular, amazing, and friendly neighborhood happens at the end that's going to draw you in. Spoilers. You know, DK2 had a lot of like, you know, the Justice League. So I am hoping for like maybe more Marvel characters. And then peppered throughout. Then we have this like new version of the Green Goblin, who, you know, is like another like to the nth degree, like grotesque sort of like dystopian version, I suppose. And then we have Spider-Man going back in time to hopefully fix everything once and for all. And I hope that doesn't happen, because then it'll like negate the entire first miniseries, right? I don't know. We're only in issue 1 of 4, so a lot could happen. A lot has happened. I'm in it. I'm in. Okay, you got me. I mean, I'd be getting it anyway, because, you know, Kaare Andrews is one of those creators that I kind of get everything that he does. Well, not everything, but try to anyway. And then at the end, it's so crazy. Here comes the big spoiler. Wilson Fisk is in cahoots with, of all people, Miles Morales. And I didn't know that's like the plot twist I needed. And that is exactly the plot twist we needed. Can Ben Reilly be far behind? I don't know. Anyway, a very crazy, very like all over the place, beautifully drawn, intriguing, exciting, high octane first issue for Spider-Man Reign. I'm in. Sign me up. Be here again for issue 2. Anyway, I do recommend this. This cover is gorgeous. I love Kaare Andrews. He is definitely a visionary in the comics. He moves in and out of comics, so it's always exciting when he's back. So anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will bring you more soon.